Where I come down after 2 preseason games is, do Steelers fans owe an apology to Matt Canada? And here's where I come down on this. Let's get through the first 3 games of the season when you've got 49ers, you've got the Browns, you got the Raiders. If you start the season out 2-1, 3-0, and the offense looks how it is right now, I always make the analogy on this show, you can't make a gourmet meal with bologna and potato chips. And I've been big on wanting the Steelers to improve their offensive line. When I went to the Steelers-Chiefs game a few years back, that's what really stuck out to me, where we want Najee Harris to go off for 1,000+ yards every season. And it was like, does he have the holes to be able to do that? Is he running north and south? I think we saw that more on the back half of last season to get many yards as he can. But to me, this is like the first time where he's had the offensive line and the personnel to do it. I know you always bring up the point of another season with Kenny Pickett now, and there's stability there versus you're going from Big Ben towards the end of his career to Mitch Trubisky, which kind of a bridge to now Kenny Pickett, and there's that continuity. I come down with here, Ike, because I was saying last year where I wanted him to go, but I don't know if he had the personnel to do it. This year, I want to see what we've seen in the preseason come the regular season, but it's like from when Kenny Pickett's been on the field and the starter's been on the field, 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. Not like you can score 4 or 5 touchdowns in 3 drives. I cannot argue with the level of production. I know it's preseason, but if the offense is anything like this from week 1 on during this regular season, the Steelers are going to have a big, big season. That's where I land with this. What say you, Ike Taylor?
Okay, so I'll break it down like this, Mark. Mm-hmm. In my mind, to Matt Canada's defense, this is his first year as offense coordinator. His first year, he got Big Ben. We can say what we want to say. You're really not going to change what a future Hall of Famer wants to run and wants to do. And this coming with quarterbacks who've been playing over 15 years. So that wasn't, in my mind, that wasn't his offense. 7 ran what he wanted to run. Period. Second year, you go out, Big Ben retires, you go out and acquire, you get Mitchell Trubisky, you have Mason Rudolph, and you got a rookie that you drafted in Kenny Pickett. So
a rookie. And we love Kenny Pickett, Ike, but a rookie is a rookie is a rookie.
Correct. So his second year, Mitchell Trubisky, we acquire him, we get him, he starts. He win a few games, but ain't looking good. Mason Rudolph comes in. Ain't really looking good as well either. Win a few games, ain't looking good. So now you give the man a rookie quarterback damn near mid-season, and you stick with him. So now on his second year, Matt Canada we talking about, you give him a rookie quarterback during the middle of the season, and he winds up taking off with it, and he gets the blame on why they're not making calls, why they're not making checks. Hell, Patrick Mahomes said out his 5th year, he just started to make his own calls, make his checks. And he won 2 Super Bowls, been 3. So that's just letting you know how long it will take for the game to truly slow down for a quarterback. So getting back to Matt Canada, this is his first year. You give him some offensive pieces. You finally give him a quarterback that he can have his offense now, that he can have some input on his offense. And now you see what Kenny Pickett doing. You give him some wide receivers. You give him a slot in Allen Robinson. You give him Darnell extra tight end. You saw what Pat Fairmouth is doing. You give him a left tackle in Broderick Jones in the first round. But now you see what Dan Moore is doing, who's in front of Broderick right now. And the development and the growth of a healthy Jalen Warren. So when people talk, I'm like, and I had this conversation with Matt Canada, Mark. I said, boy, this is your first year. He was like, what you talking about? He said, this is your first year. I said, this is your first year as offensive coordinator. He was like, thank God you're not a media guy. I said, yeah. Coach, I am a media guy. but to your defense, this is technically your first year. And it really is. So he took some unfair criticism. Coach Matt Canada, he really do understand what comes with the business. So he ain't never – that's why, to be honest with you, you got to have some different kind of skin to be a coach, or OC or DC or head coach in the NFL. And when him and I had that talk, Mark, I was like, oh yeah, he all the way built for this. He built for this. But this is his first year in my mind, Mark. He finally get to have some input on his offense with the weapons around and what he wants to do.
With the weapons, Ike, that's the key word that I'm talking about. And I've always said the sum needs to equal its parts this season. And if the Steelers offense does regress come regular season, it's not where you want it to be. He is in the final year of his contract. Now, I want to go back, Ike, and this is not revisionist history at all. When he took over for Randy Fichtner in the first season, he was actually offense coordinator, Big Ben's final season. This is no knock on Roethlisberger, who's a future Hall of Famer, but in year 18, also, Ike, to add to your point, go back and look at tape in Roethlisberger's final year. He's not nearly as mobile. He doesn't have the same zip on passes as he did when he was in his prime as a quarterback. It's not a hyperbole to say that. It's just the style of player he was when you're in your 18th NFL season at that point in your career. My point being, you can't do some of the same things that you could do with a Kenny Pickett or a Mitchell Trubisky. Like, obviously, Mitchell Trubisky is not as good as Roethlisberger, right? But even when Trubisky came in last year, it was just like, whoa, the wiggle and the drop back and the way a quarterback should move. To me, it was like a night and day difference just watching tape and just watching on TV in terms of athletic ability that you get from a quarterback position. Roethlisberger in the final year of his career, he's going to do what he had always done that had made him successful as a quarterback. There's only so much a brand new offensive coordinator is going to say because of the cachet that you build up during an 18-year Hall of Fame career. So there's that. And that's not revisionist history to say any of those things about Big Ben, who is on his way to Canton, by the way. So just to add to all of that, Ike, and last year with the rookie quarterback, it's not like the Steelers went into the season with Kenny Pickett as the starter. And that's the thing that's been really encouraging to me is with Deontay Johnson, with the connection that he has and that he's developed with a full offseason to know that he's the guy. He had to come in week 4 of last season and try to fix things on the fly. And that's the reason you start out 2-6 after the bye week. Yes, the schedule let up, but it was a night and day difference because you start to develop that chemistry, that rapport that you need to have success in the league from an offensive standpoint.
Yes, for a rookie quarterback, the schedule ain't gonna never let up. For a rookie quarterback, it's always gonna be when I get my driver's license, the first thing y'all do is put me on the interstate kind of lesson. You know what I'm saying? For a rookie quarterback. So it was just tough in general on Kenny Pickett and Matt Canada. You know, it's only so much you can do. But they figured it out, and they figured it out in less than 8 months. I will say, you know, in the offseason, front office did what they needed to do. Coach T, and Matt Canada, you know, they doing what they need to do, and you see it's night and day, Mark, between, you know, Kenny Pickett from last year to this year. You saw it last year. You saw the potential Kenny Pickett had last year, but now you really see, like, okay, him gaining 15 more pounds of muscle, his maturity level, as far as like him throwing he throwing guys open. You know, that's what I saw when I saw Kenny Pickett in training camp. He was throwing people open. And the good
it feels different, Ike. This year just feels different. And I don't know if I'm drinking the Kool-Aid too much after 2 preseason games and good offensive production. It feels different to me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now, trust your eyes. Trust your eyes, Mark. If your eyes say it feels different and you see it, Bleav it.